What in the world, Bo? What's going on with you, man? It's your boy Big Low Country. I hope everybody out there is doing great tonight. For everybody who don't know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach that love to sit around and talk about sports. A positive Atlanta Falcons content creator. First of all, if you're watching the show after we've gone live already, make sure that you put a what in the world, Bo, in the comments. Also, if this is your first time checking us out, make sure that you hit that like button and please subscribe. Make sure that you share the channel with your friends and family. I promise you, you do those things for me, I'll dance at your wedding one day. So we got a few things that we do need to talk about. So um NFL Combine, started last weekend. Well, before the weekend started, and here we are. Sunday going into Monday. Gonna see what's going on with this with these prospects and everything. We're talking about the interviews that were had and the interviews that weren't had. Lamar Jackson. Every time I open my phone, I'm hearing people talk about Lamar Jackson. I'm ready for it to be over with, Bo. So we got a few things that we definitely need to talk about, man. First of all, I got to show love to everybody that's showing love to me. John Brooks is in here. Much love to you, John Brooks. I see you show me some love on your channel, man. Much love to you. I definitely appreciate it. Y'all make sure y'all check out Coach John Brooks over there as well. He says, Big Low, he says, I'm going after Lamar Jackson. Okay, Bo, I hear you. I hear you. Deshaun Coswell says, what in the world, Bo? Hello. What's going on, Bo? Coach Constantine, what's going on? Ricky Gaines, much love to you. Raymond Elder, what in the world, Bo? What's going on, man? Um, RJ Atlanta for life. What's up, Big Low? Crispy. I mean country. Okay. I see what you're doing there, Bo. Derek's in here. Much love to you, Derek. Hope you're doing good, fam. Charles, much love to you. Derek says, always Lamar. Yes. Every time I open my phone, I'm hearing about Lamar Jackson, Bo. I'm ready to move on. Well, what we gonna do? If you ain't finna do it on the pot, then get up. That's about where I'm at. Ray 50, shouts out to Ray 50. He hit me up on Twitter. He said, "Hey, coach, we need a coaches meet today." So shouts out to Ray 50. Much love to you, Bo. Jared J's in here. Michael Lucas, what in the world, Bo? We may land CJ Stroud. Look, you never know. You never know. But that being said, there's definitely a lot of moving pieces. And like I said, we're going to talk about the results of the NFL Combine, what we've seen so far, the things that we like, the things that we don't like. We're also going to talk about this ongoing Lamar Jackson saga. Also, you got Molly Mall in here. Says, Big Low, y'all not getting Lamar Jackson. He's a Saints fan, so he automatically has to hate in his heart. Do want to let y'all know, shouts out to him, my homeboy Big Q. Apparently, they just had their own separate coaches meeting over there, wanting to know if the championship window is closed. Molly Mall, look, it's not over with yet. We haven't played a game in 2023. As of right now, everybody's championship window is open. So just trying to give y'all some words of encouragement. I know that y'all flipping money over there like those hearts. Y'all done cleared a lot of cap room. I think y'all done cleared like $30 million. Where the money's going, I don't know. But moving forward, don't count yourself out. Philip, what in the world, Big Low? Checking in from Arizona. What much love to you, Bo. I hope y'all staying cool over there. Cool and well fed. Javi's in here. What's going on? Jay Napella, much love to you. So let's go ahead and start this thing off. First of all, let's start off talking about the NFL Combine, right? So, I wanted to ask y'all, who did y'all see that you really liked in the NFL Combine? And I know that a lot of people, they've been talking about Nolan Smith. Some people talked about the pure athleticism of an Anthony Richardson, and there have been a lot of names that have been floating around. One big name that was floating around, when was that? I think on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Whenever I was trying to work, was Kalijah Kancey. Everybody talked about how he ran that 4.67 40-yard dash I'm glad that he paid attention to my technique and paid attention to what I do. Look, he's a cheater, not a goose. And he went ahead and did what he needed to do. 4.67 for a defensive tackle. That's faster than Jordan Davis. Big boy pick him up and put him down, Bo. But I guess I wanted to ask y'all, who did you see that you really liked in or during the NFL Combine? You seen them, you said, hey, at that 8th pick, or if we move up or down, who did you see that you were like, ooh, I can see him in red, black, and white Chevy. Now I'm Ryan Dion. I can see it. Oh man, Coach Padres in here. Much love to you, man. Much love to you. Derek says, hope you're doing. Hey, Bo, I'm doing good because you here, man. Doing good because you here. Mike Hollywood says Christian Gonzalez with AJ and Bates. Sign me up. Okay. Jay DePell says, hey, Bo, Stetson Bennett. Oh man. Look, this ain't college now. He ain't gonna be playing against the Vanderbilts and the UABs of the world, on this NFL level. It's a whole nother kind of game. Shouts out to Stetson. Thank you for the 2 national championships. But I don't know if it's the same kind of situation. It's a little bit more pressure. It's a little bit more pressure at the NFL level. I'm gonna hit it one more time. Eyes on me with that pressure. It's a little bit more pressure. I know Coach Rose is in the back right now. Like, what is he saying? Pressure live on the air? Look, I like that. I like that pressure song. I got to the point where I done got old, and I hear a song that's kind of catchy. I'd be like, oh man, that song kind of catchy. I like that. I just want to rock joint now. I be doing the dance. I just want to rock. I don't know. I just discovered Young Thug and Little Baby, Bad. Rose Gold Seeds on a bucket helicopter, the double C for Chanel because she bad. Oh man, that took a rider right now, bro. I'm sorry. Ray 50, he says, what's going on, Alfonso? Much love to you. Ray 50, he says, Oregon's Christian Gonzalez. Ray 50, it's obvious. It's obvious that we run in the same circles because Oregon's Christian Gonzalez has become my favorite player in the 2023 NFL draft. There, I said it. Oregon's Christian Gonzalez has become my favorite player in the 2023 NFL draft. And y'all know every year I pick a guy. Every year. And shouts out to my homeboy Alberto, 95 North. I don't know if his peer pressure, put it on me. Y'all make sure that y'all check out 95 North. He does draft prospects on the Falcons consistently, so make sure that you check him out. He knows the stuff. But thing is that, he's been talking about him, and I knew about him during the season. But that NFL Combine, whenever I watched him, and first of all, see, it's a good thing Coach Rhoda ain't in here because, I always talk about, the different parts of the body and how it translates to the NFL field. We talked about the thick thighs save lives. We talked about Christian Watson being a big old tall glass of water. Let me tell you something about that doggone Christian Gonzalez. That boy got some nice fluid hips. That boy hips be popping around like it ain't nobody business. That boy hips is more fluid than a cup of water. I'm telling you, Bo, that boy hips is more fluid than a cup of water. If I didn't know, if you were to put a helmet with the shield on him, with the shield on it, blacked out, and just put him in a uniform, if I wouldn't have known it, I would have thought that was AJ Terrell. Some people say they think that he's going to be better than AJ Terrell. What? Long arms? What is he? 6'1", 6'2", somewhere around there. I think he's better than the Witherspoon kid. He's a total package. Total package. What is he running? Like a 4.3, 4.4, 40? He has the speed. He has the size. He has the awareness. He has the instincts. He's my favorite player as of right now in the 2023 NFL draft. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there, Bo. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. Coach Padre says Elijah Clancy looking pretty good to me, Coach. And, you know, we're gonna talk about Clancy because Jalen Pelly, he said the same thing. He said Clancy for the D. We're gonna talk about that because we're going to talk about how that 40-yard dash translates, right? How that 40-yard dash translates to the actual playing field. Because how often, first of all, we don't want to be in a situation where our defensive tackle is having to run 40 yards down the field unimpeded, right? We don't want that situation. If anything, that 10-yard split is going to be a better indication of what type of athlete he is in the situation that we want him to be in, right? So, you know, that's something that we definitely want to consider. Santina Rainey says you can't go wrong with Georgia Bulldogs for Falcons all positions. You can't. Hey, look, we dogs around here. You already know. I ain't even mad at it. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate your comment. Coach Dre's in here. Coach Dre said Molly Mall. He ain't do nothing with the black and silver. Couldn't even get them to the freaking playoff. So what you think he gonna do with y'all? Hello, talk about Dennis Allen. Look, as a Falcons fan, I love Dennis Allen. I love him. He needs to keep doing what he's doing. Derek says Mike Smith, that boy country strong, big low. Oh my God. Y'all know Mike Smith. How many did Mike Smith throw up? Was it 35 of them? Something like that boy, and he's in. That boy country strong, Bo. It's definitely a thing. Malamar, you need to keep the hate out your heart. We ain't talking about me running 40. See, we ain't talking about me. I didn't go to the combine. They invited me to come personally. I ain't go to the combine. So you need to keep the hate out your heart. Derek says I was impressed with Brian Branch, top candidate for us, since we need safety help. Plus, if you heard that Terry said by targeting players from Georgia, and Branch is from Georgia. Yes, that is right. That is right. If I'm not mistaken, they said that they have 40 people in this draft from the state of Georgia. Look, we all know the big states in the United States when it comes to high school talent that go all over the country for college. You know, you got your Texas. Got to put Texas in there. Everybody has seen Friday Night Lights, right? So you got Texas, you got Florida, you got them because them boys from Florida, they a different kind of fast. California, you got to put California in there. Louisiana, I mean, think about it. A lot of the top wide receivers in the league right now are from Louisiana and Georgia. I mean, Georgia. These Georgia boys, they something serious, man. Right there, what's going on with you, Bo? Much love to you. Jeremy the Priest says, dang, I'm listening to you about a missed I made push play on Thug besides bad. What that? Wait a minute. Talk about bad. I would eat you like a bocce because I'm bad. Oh man, this joker riding, bro. I got a little system in the truck. That joker be hitting too. Coach Padres in here. He says, Coach, Elijah Clancy might be our Cam Jordan. Also, do you think Nolan Smith could catch you if you had a head start? I'll hang up and listen. First of all, dun, 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 that's a Superman chat. We appreciate you, Bo. It depends on how big the head start is. Like if I had 2-yard head start, oh yeah, I'm dusting them off. It's over with. You know, yard and a half, it might be kind of tough. But yeah, you know, Nolan Smith, he ain't for to catch me, Bo. He gonna have to get up early in the morning to catch me. Matter of fact, he might as well have a sleepover because he ain't finna catch me. Coach Wallace says, what's going on with your bit? What's going on, Coach Wallace? I had Coach Wallace on Friday. But back to Coach Padres' comment though about Elijah Clancy being the next Cam Jordan for this Ryan Nielsen's defense, for this defensive line. the thing that we have to acknowledge is, first of all, just because he ran that fast 40, and this is the same thing that I'm saying about me in my journey to become the next Atlanta Falcons quarterback. How often are we going to see a defensive tackle run for 40 yards straight? First of all, we don't want to see that often, right? We don't want to see our defensive tackle trying to catch somebody from behind for 40 yards. The 10-yard split is a more important stat for my defensive tackle. But the thing is that to a certain extent, that 40-yard dash does measure, overall athleticism, right? So whenever I look at it, Kalijah Kancey, I want to see, I want to see what he's like with these, what kind of moves he has, with these hands, are these hands, can these hands do something in that small space at the end of the day? That's what's most important to me. Ghost Pepper says, what in the world, Bo? Christian Gonzalez at 8? I could definitely roll with that. So, back in December, January, everybody was like, hey, coach, who you want for the 2023 NFL draft? And I was like, hey, y'all gotta give me some time, but before I start picking folks, y'all gotta give me some time. I need to move on from this season because I'm kind of hurt after that 2022 season. I'm still in my feelings. I had to go listen to some Drake, and passing it from miles away. I just had to get out of my feelings. So moving forward, NFL Combine came, talked with a lot of great friends, and the positive content creators that are out there. One time for the fans, Smitty Sports Machine, 95 North Falcons, Pound for Pound, Twisted Torch. Got with all those guys, and everybody. Of course, everybody has their own opinion because we respect everybody's opinions, right? But I after watching this combine and going back and looking at the film, Christian Gonzalez is my guy. He's my guy. Imagine Christian Gonzalez, AJ Terrell on both sides. You're good at the cornerback position for the next 8 years. Easy. You're good at the cornerback position. So whenever you have situations, because think about it, you played Cincinnati last year. AJ Terrell knew he didn't have no business being out there on that field, but he knew that who was going to back him up. Casey Hayward, he was done. Darren Hall was too busy trying to practice to be the next Aaron Hall because he seemed like he was working on his singing, then making sure he played that hook zone correctly. That secondary was getting their draws burnt off. We need depth at all positions. And I know, look, that defensive line, that's the sexy pick, right? That's the pick that we feel like we want and we need because we have consistently not been able to get to the quarterback. But one thing that we have to remember, guys, free agency comes before the draft. Say it one more time for the folks in the back. Free agency comes before the draft. I don't know if y'all remember me saying this to you. We were talking about this. There are going to be some people who are going to be ex-employees of teams after March the 15th that we didn't expect. Example, Khalil Mack. Who would have thought Khalil Mack, they would have been saying, hey, we might trade Khalil Mack. If not, we're going to let him go. I would take Khalil Mack in a heartbeat. I would take him in a heartbeat. Some people was like, oh, well, he's kind of lost a step, right? Look, it don't matter if you lost a step. If compared to the rest of your roster, minus a Grady Jarrett, you're 7-8 steps ahead, Bo. That don't even matter. I would take Khalil Mack in a heartbeat twice on Sunday. Oh, man, what's going on? Gadex, boy, much love to you, man. He says, man, Clowney, B. Young from Tennessee would be a good addition. Hey, man, look, that's true. That's true. He said Branch as a nickelback. The thing is, they got him listed as a safety. That's interesting. Simon Dulles says, I think it's best to wait on this draft because I truly think the Falcons are going to make a push for Lamar Jackson. We're going to talk about that because every time I look at my phone, I'm seeing something about Lamar Jackson. Oh, man. Derek said, Big Low, who is your college football man? I ride with them dogs, right? Georgia boy, riding with them dogs. But I will tell you, Virginia Tech has a special place in my heart. NCAA football, I used to whip up on my homeboys all the time with Virginia Tech. And, the reason why I started playing with them is because Michael Vick came from Virginia Tech. And whenever I started actually coaching, I really became a fan of Beamer ball. So, Virginia Tech has a special place in my heart. But, I don't know if you're familiar with a famous rapper here in Georgia called Pastor Troy. I'm a DSGB. That's a down south Georgia boy. I don't know where you're from, but yeah, I'm a down south Georgia boy. What's up, my brother Terror Artist 404? Much love to you, Bo. Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. Padre says Kansas also put up Aaron Donald-esque numbers. If he the 1/4 the player, we cooking with fish grease, Bo. But the question is it hot fish grease or cold fish grease? Because if you ever try to cook fish grease, whenever it ain't hot enough, you just gonna wind up with some soggy, oily fish, Bo. That's the question. I understand he put up the Aaron Donald-less numbers, but what will he be able to do in the NFL? That's the question. We know he can run fast. We know he has the intangibles. Let's see, because I got his numbers pulled up right here. I got his numbers pulled up right here from the NFL Combine. So, that 10-yard split was 1.64. Ooh, man, that's pretty good there, Padre. That's pretty good, but that boy looking like he can move a little bit. So the strengths, they're saying that his strengths are he posted, and we're talking about Elijah Kancey. He said he posted 14.5 sacks and 27.5 tackles for loss in 2 years as a full-time starter, which are great numbers. Combination of first burst and contact stands out. Captures easy wins against leaning interior blockers. Excellent change of direction and quickness. Terror in the pocket as a pass rusher. Laser sharp focus on fastest possible way into the pocket. Okay. Now, as far as weakness, they say he lacks the prototypical size. Big guards can latch in and in the rush at times. If he's not first off the snap, lack of length shows up, but can get into it. So it sounds like they're saying that his numbers, as far as physically, aren't as good as far as his measurables. 6'1", 281, say he got short arms. But that athleticism, sometimes, Bo, a dog is just a dog. A dog is just a dog. Raymond Collins in here. What's going on, Bo? Much love to you. Jeremy Dupree says sign Bates, resign Oliver, Grant in the box, draft Gonzalez, AJ. That's a no-fly zone, Bo. Yeah, look, that Elijah Kancey kid, he looks good, but I'm Christian Gonzalez. He looks like a no-brainer, Bo. No-brainer. Ghost Peppers is in here. You know it's a party now. He says, we take Stetson Bennett in the sixth round to a quarterback quarterback coach backup quarterback. He's been around the game long, man. Has he been around? Man, boy, that boy applying for his AARP card. Much love to Stetson. But we said we were gonna do a mock draft, man. We actually gonna be doing one pretty soon. We're gonna do an inclusive one, so it's gonna be interesting how we do it. So make sure that you stay tuned. What's going on? We got old Blinking Stitching here. Look, if y'all need to buy your lady some lashes, right? Check out. Y'all remember Joy? Check out Joy. You know, she's selling the lashes. Coach Ronnie ordered some lashes. Coach Ronnie ordered the lashes. If I'm not mistaken, I think they came the same day. I don't know how she did it, you know, but if they didn't come the same day, they came the next day. So make sure that you check out Joy for the lashes. Derek says, Big Low, you think we should sign a quarterback like Jacoby Brissett to give Ritter some actual good comp? Yes, we should. veteran quarterback. Take it from there to see what you got going on, because there's no need to have two young Thundercats in the quarterback room. Nobody knows what's going on, right? Ain't no need in doing it. Rashad's in here, says, what in the world, Bo? If we can trade back and grab Luke Van Ness, and snag Branch with the second rounder, we doing some things. But hey, Van Ness, that's what he does. He's as a matter of fact, he's a rotational guy. I don't even think he was just a starter. I think they just had him for pass rush situations, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, look, we need to get to the quarterback. That's the guy to do it, Bo. I ain't even mad at that, man. Lil Lame Latte. I'm sorry, Lil Llama Latte. As a matter of fact, he's Big Latto's cousin. He says, hey, I just came into this conversation, but honestly, I don't know what it will take to make the Falcons better. They've been struggling for so long. yeah, it's just going to take some work, Bo. We just got to see what we can do and get right. Padre says, Coach, do you think Nolan Smith seems a similar jump in draft stock what in the world, bro? And draft stock as Trayvon Walker did last year. Also, why aren't your physical gifts being talked about more? Combine or not, they slipping. Look, you gotta talk to NFL Network, ESPN, Fox Sports. You gotta talk to them, bro. I don't know what's going on with them, but they need to get right. Also, that's a Superman chat. Much love to you, Bo. But yes, I could definitely see Nolan Smith taking the jump. We're at that point now with the Georgia players where no matter, to a certain extent, they're going to get a jump just because of where they went to school to. This is kind of what Alabama went through for like 7 or 8 years. I don't know if y'all remember this. For about 7 or 8 years, if they were a third graded player, third round graded player, they would get taken in the second or sometimes late first round just because they went to Alabama. We seen that multiple times, and a lot of teams got burned off of it. And I'm not saying that they would get burnt with Nolan Smith because he's a heck of a player, but I could definitely see him making the jump. Now in the top 10 or top 5, I don't know about that, but I could definitely see him making the jump, to another spot. Raymond Collins says Gonzalez moves so fluidly and smooth, tall and fast, no brainer. All right, so let me ask everybody what y'all think about this. Okay, so Christian Gonzalez, if you take Christian Gonzalez in with the 8th pick overall, put a 1 in the chat. If you would go for any defensive lineman, because we know that's what the other need is, right? I mean, you look at the first 2 drafts under Terry Fontenot, they kind of, they let's be honest, they were a little unconventional. He went for the players that we needed because we just needed so much. And he also factored in the best player available. So if you go for Christian Gonzalez, put a 1 in the chat. If you would go for, it doesn't matter if it's no matter who, Nolan Smith, if it's Jalen Carter, whoever, Tyree Wilson. If you go for a defensive lineman, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know what y'all think, because it's like it feels weird saying that I want to get a cornerback, kind of like what we did, what was that, about 10 years ago with the whole Desmond Trufant and then going and get Robert Alford. It's like, but let's be honest, that did kind of provide some stability. Thing is that just imagine if that team actually had a pass rush. If you had Desmond Trufant in his prime during that time, the most underrated cornerback in the league, and a Robert Alford who, he was a pick six waiting to happen. He was also a pass interference that did happen many times. Just imagine if you had a pass rush with that. I think that's what the thing is that Ryan Nielsen, he's trying to bring everything together. Sorry, Saints fans. I know it's going to hurt. I'm going to be talking about it. We're going to have a defense even better than y'all had, and we finna actually, take it to the whole nother level, Bo. Shouts out to Ryan Nielsen. Oh man. B Bambino says Gonzalez and Branch. And see, that's the thing. It's like, so let's say you get a Gonzalez, right? And Terry Artist, he said, that's true, coach. But the thing is, think about this, Terry Artist. What if you get a Gonzalez, right? And then you have a Branch who's right there looking at you in the second round. It's like you gotta get it. Terry Fontenot said, and for I don't know how many of y'all actually seen his interview at the combine. Terry Fontenot came out and said we're prioritizing guys from Georgia, you know, and I don't want y'all mind to go to the nasty place because I know that y'all nasty. But he said, look, we're putting a sticker of a peach by their name. Like, putting a sticker of a peach. Why do it like that? He said, we putting a sticker of a peach by their name. That symbolizes that they from Georgia. So, that don't mean that their sister got a big booty. I see, I know that's what y'all thinking. Nah, that just means that they from Georgia. You got the peach there. Hey, they from Georgia. We might want to look at him and see if he could give us, that hometown down south Georgia boy energy. So I mean, look, it's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. Ray Fitty said, look, don't sleep on Jamie Robinson, safety out of FSU. He's legit. He's legit. So let me see here. I'm just looking at the votes that everybody put in. So I said, if you would take a Christian Gonzalez, put a 1 in the chat. I said, if it's one of those situations where you would take just any defensive lineman, the top defensive lineman in the draft, at that time, put a 2 in the chat. So, man, and the thing is because the reason why I say it is because I'm kind of torn because we've had the problem for so long. Mike Hollywood, he says 1. He said he's taking Christian Gonzalez. Jay says, look, we've had these problems for way too long. Let's go ahead and try to fix it. He said he's going with a defensive lineman. Ray Fitty, Mudbone, Bean, and they said, man, that Christian Gonzalez kid is looking legit. Rotman, he says, look, we had these problems since John Abraham left. We need to fix them. Skylar Thomas, he says, man, Christian Gonzalez is looking legit. I mean, he was going through that defensive gauntlet. He backpedaled. First of all, look like the kid backpedaled 120 yards. And I couldn't see his feet touching the ground. I just seeing legs just go everywhere. Hips just, I'm like, what in the world, Bo? Like, just imagine putting him out there guarding somebody. Man, if they go to the bathroom, Christian Gonzalez is going to hand him the toilet paper. He's going to be right there. Coach Padre says 1.5. More of a Joy Porter guy, but I wouldn't be mad at it. Joy Porter's a dog too. He's a dog too. Coach Dre says, man, you tripping. We got my boy Kyle freaking Pitts. I want a defensive lineman. Oh, man. Ghost Pepper says, breaking news. The Falcons haven't backed themselves into a corner, but publicly dedicating the pick to one specific player and doing everything it takes to get said player. I mean, we'll see how it unfolds, Bo. The question is, has that player played in the NFL yet? Is that player currently a quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens? It's like don't put stuff out. Ghost Peppers, you're running my blood pressure up, Bo. Don't do stuff like that, man. Don't do stuff like that because we could legit have the quarterback that we need on the roster right now. We're going to get to Lamar talk in a minute, guys. Coach Water says 1, but we still need to see the cornerback Witherspoon at his pro day. Yeah. And like I said, I wouldn't be mad at either of them. I just like Gonzalez more. Coach Terry Artist 404, he says 2. He says, look, man, we got problems that we need to fix. He said we got problems we need to fix. Jared J says, if Carter isn't on the board, then go for Gonzalez. Okay. MacTown Dirty says 2. He said, hey, man, let's go ahead and fix this defensive line. And once again, I tell y'all, and it could go either way. because, like I said, the Yannick Ngakwe's of the world, the Khalil Macks of the world, like there's going to be a lot of guys up for free agency, right? But the thing is that there are going to be some cornerbacks up for free agency too. Patrick Peterson, he's going to be out there. You sign Patrick Peterson to a 1-year deal, put him on the other side, let him teach AJ some tricks of the trade. That's the thing. If you shore up that other cornerback, if you shore up that other side, first of all, you want to make sure that you got a capable backup, because Patrick Peterson has seen some pecan seasons. All I'm saying is that he might be invested for just for men. That's all I'm saying. I can't say nothing because y'all see, I might be invested for just for men myself. But what I'm saying is that if you do go that route, you got to make sure that your depth is legit. So if you go and get a cornerback that can play that other side, then you can focus on that defensive line. It's also flipped the other way around. If you go get somebody on that defensive line, you can splurge on that cornerback position. You can do it. But you know what? Would not get resolved is if you got a quarterback. If you got a quarterback during the draft, you got to hit on the free agents all across the board and just hope. And it's like that with anybody. Just hope that they don't get hurt. Veteran or rookie, just hope they don't get hurt. Bean Bambino says DB Gonzalez or Witherspoon or safety Brian Branch. So I'm seeing the same names over and over again. Jay says the D-line makes the corners better and Grady needs help. Yes. I mean, look, I definitely see what you're saying. Rashad, he says one, Gonzalez all day, fix them trenches and free agency. It's a lot of interior guys hitting the market. And yeah, you're right. It's definitely a lot of guys. So we're gonna see what we got going on. Let's see. Anthony says if we get someone like Jalen Carter, in the 8th, if he's still there, if it ain't, then go for Gonzalez at the 8th pick. Okay, Brian Little, what's going on, Bo? What in the world, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, my family. Hope you're doing good tonight. Trucker Mike's in here. What's going on, Trucker Mike? Much love to you, man. Coach Dre in here laughing. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Okay, look, we got some more votes in here. So basically they were saying, so Derek and Brian Little said, hey man, you go ahead and go for old Christian Gonzalez. Derek, he says, let's see, if we solidify the defense and free agency, you think wide receiver should draft that boy country cornbread fed mammoth downward Jones big low. What in the world? And possibly if we don't resign McGarry, downward can be his replacement. I mean, look, the possibilities are endless. And that's the beauty of this time of the year, because that's what we do. Brian Little, Trucker Mike, Ty Terry says, go ahead and get you some help on that defensive line. But that's the beauty of what we do. We're talking about, look, go ahead. Well, no, the beauty of it is we're looking at things and we're saying, look, if they do this, then this right here can possibly happen. If we do this, then this right here can possibly happen. So, look, it's one of those situations where, you just got to kind of, enjoy it. Enjoy the moment, Bo. Enjoy the moment. Oh, man. Bernard says, I say wait until we see what we do in free agency. Then you know what direction we go in the draft. So I say 1, because I think we address D-line in the free agency. And I'm not mad at that, because if we think about it, in most scenarios, that back end is going to be pretty young. Even if you get a Jesse Bates, that back end is still going to be pretty young, right? So you go ahead and get your free agency, your free agent defensive lineman, somebody that we know can resolve the problem. Because I think the issue that a lot of Atlanta Falcons fans have had is that we try to draft the guy, You go and get a Vic Beasley, hoping he would have still been here. He's playing on Sundays. It's just in the XFL. You know, you draft a Tack McKinley, and you said, man, hopefully he'll be here 10 years from now. And he'll help change this culture. He's not even in the league anymore. So it's like we tried drafting guys so many times. Thomas Dimitroff and his team, they were just terrible at drafting defensive linemen. But I think now we're just at the point with like, hey, let's fix this through free agency and the draft, right? Through both of them. And Coach Wallace makes a great point. How often do you see defensive tackles taken in the top 10? You have to be a legendary all-world defensive tackle like an Ndamukong Suh. Because if you look back, when was Jordan Davis drafted? Because I remember everybody was like, oh, we need to get Jordan Davis. Let me see here. I'm just Googling because y'all know my memory's terrible. Because Jordan Davis was drafted. He was drafted in the 13th pick. And a lot of people thought he fell. I know we wanted to get Jordan Davis. I said we should trade back so we could get him. But he fell to the 13th pick because very seldomly defensive tackles are taken in the top 10 or top 5, top 8. Because at the end of the day, needless to say, I'm one of them. There are a lot of big 330, 340-pound guys, 6'2", 6'3", 330-pound guys that run 4.6 40s. I mean, we come a dime a dozen. I'm just trying to play quarterback. I mean, so look, it's just one of those situations. Oh, man. But, yeah, that's a great point, Coach Wallace. Ghost Pepper says Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, Brian Branch, Paris Johnson Jr., Tyree Wilson, or trade back. One of those guys got to be there, Bo. If all those guys gone, then we got a problem. If all those guys gone, we probably traded back already. Oh, man. D. Lerone giving us some facts. He says trade back for Witherspoon and Van Ness. So you're trading back and you're getting those assets to help you long term, right? To help you long term for the future. So you trade back and you get, two of those guys. I don't know if y'all seen last year, Kansas City Chiefs, they got 2 guys that I wanted, right? Because I was saying let's trade back and we could get a George Karlaftis and we could get a Trent McDuffie. I mean, doggone, Kansas City ain't get both of them. Won the Super Bowl. Like, what in the world? Nah, first of all, we knew number 15 is the main reason they won the Super Bowl. But those guys were getting consistent time. They weren't just riding the bench. They were legit getting time. What's going on, Coach Alberto? Hope you're doing good in here, Bo. Seeing you on One Time for the Fan. Y'all make sure that y'all check out 95 North Talk Show. Make sure you check out One Time for the Fan and Speedy Sports Machine, Uncle Steve's Lounge. And there's a lot of great, positive Falcons content creators out here. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. Alfonso says, I don't want no saggy no saggy. What in the world, Bo? I know you ain't talking about my fish. Oh, man. Y'all are crazy. Brian Little, he also mentions Miles Murphy from Clemson. Miles Murphy, that's another name that a lot of, it seems like he's kind of dropping on people's boards, but Miles Murphy is another guy that, a lot of people can. Coach Tony Wright, he can't step away from the party on the top up with us. He says, what's popping, Low? We better address D-line and free agency. Sign Yannick Ngakoue, then sign Javon Hargraves or D-tackle Draymond Jones or D-tackle Sheldon Rankins. I would be happy with any of those, Bo. I'll be happy with any of those. If I put it in order, I would say Yannick Ngakoue, Draymond Jones, Javon Hargraves, Sheldon Rankins. If I put it in order, but look, it's it's one of those things. It's like every time I think about Javon Hargraves, I think about the first game of the 2021 season, whenever he just wrecked Jalen Mayfield. Jalen Mayfield ain't never been the same. He ain't been the same since. Berto, referencing the mock draft that we did on his and Smitty's channel, we were talking about Van Ness, and we were talking about how he was free falling in our mock draft. First of all, I don't think Van Ness is gonna make it out the first round. Somebody's gonna take him. Almost everybody can use a competent edge rusher, so somebody's gonna take him. Yes, Ghost Pepper. See, you didn't have to mention that. We skipped over TJ Watt for tack, revenge on cutting my dreads. McKinley, it still burns. Yes, it still burns. You gotta let it burn, like a early 2000s Usher song. D Sloan says, "What's going on, Bo? What's the assessment, man?" Look, the assessment is Coach Padre. First of all, Coach Padre, he didn't got in here and he done went naked for Kalijah Cansey. You know, I got naked for Christian Gonzalez. There's a lot of great prospects out here, man. Anthony Richardson came out and said he's going to throw the ball hard. He doesn't care if it breaks people's fingers. Why he will say that, I don't know. But the thing is that I really feel like in this draft, if Terry Fontenot comes out and says, "Hey, we're gonna really target Georgia players," I feel like he doesn't just mean that in the draft. I feel like he means that in free agency as well. Javon Hargraves is from Georgia, from Atlanta, Georgia. But Jahmyr Gibbs is from Dalton, Georgia. Jahmyr Gibbs is from Dalton, Georgia. I say that because, I know a lot of y'all know I really wanted a Mr. Kenneth Gainwell. The Eagles got him. Seems like Eagles get all the players that I wanted, but Jahmyr Gibbs is from Dalton. Terry Fontenot, you hear me? Jahmyr Gibbs is from Dalton, Georgia. So if I don't know if y'all remember, Damian Williams was drafted, well, not drafted, signed with the Atlanta Falcons last year, got hurt, went on the IR. I feel like that was a wrinkle that was kind of taken out of Arthur Smith's playbook, right? He needed that scat, a wop bada lula, a bop bam boom. He needed that scat back, bop bop. He needed that scat back, Bo. And whenever Damian Williams went out, he had the, Cordell Patterson had to suffice. And first of all, much love to Cordell Patterson, great running back, but in some situations, let's be honest, he was just a little bit too big, Bo. He was just a little bit too big. It was like trying to take a Ford F-150, F1 racing. You try to move around. You can't scat around in there like you want to because he was just a little bit too big. Jahmyr Gibbs, if you put that sizzle with the steak in a Tyler Algier, and I'm finna ask the chat, let me know what y'all think. Am I wrong for wanting a Jahmyr Gibbs in this 2023 draft? If you feel like I'm wrong, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like, you can go ahead and get down with the sizzle with the steak with Jahmyr Gibbs, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know what y'all think. But Jahmyr Gibbs, I feel like it might be that move. Damon Deuce is in here. He says, "Hey, Coach, Lamar for only 2 firsts sound like a steal now. Sometimes you got to wait it out, Bo. Question is, how much you going to pay him? That's the question. That's the question. And make sure you check out One Time for the Fan, where my homeboy Berto was talking about it, and Smitty, they were talking about how that salary cap is going to be going up, and they could change that salary to a signing bonus. So the question is, do you want a Lamar Jackson who has possibly hit his ceiling and you got what you're going to get out of him, or do you want the unknown? It's almost like, hey, do you want this prize or do you want the mystery door? Which one are you choosing? I mean, if we legit think about it, do we want this prize or do we want the mystery door? Because I can almost guarantee you, if it's not Lamar Jackson or Desmond Ridder, they're not going to get a veteran quarterback to start. That's out of the window. They're not going to get a Jimmy Garoppolo, a Carson Wentz, a Derek Carr to come in here and start. If they get somebody else to come in, they're going to be the backup eventually, and Desmond Ridder is going to be the starting quarterback. But they're not going to. That's just not going to happen. So it's either Lamar Jackson or it's Desmond Ridder, and I very seriously doubt they're going to draft a guy to be the starting quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. I very seriously doubt it. ATLGA Faithful said, "Dang, Low, what up, Bo? Holla at you." Of course, ATL. Look, D.W. Carter, D. Douglas Carter. Much love to you, man. D. Douglas Carter. I gotta say it like Lil Wayne. D. Douglas Carter. Much love to you, Bo. Make sure y'all check out ATLGA Faithful, another positive Falcons content creator, and he drops the nuggets. So I'll make sure that y'all go over there and subscribe to my boy. Great content, very knowledgeable. He's always teaching me something. True Bear says Richardson would cost a first-round pick. If we're going to gamble a first-round pick, might as well throw in another one for Lamar. Otherwise, play it safe and take a lineman. I agree with you, True Bear. I don't want Anthony Richardson myself. What do you have? 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, or something like that? I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had like a 53% completion rate in college. So what is he gonna do in the pros? I'm good on it. They can keep that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I want the Carolina Panthers to get Anthony Richardson. That's what I want. They're looking for Cam Newton 2.0. And he's probably going to be Cam Newton 2.0, a big athletic guy that, he'll make two or three plays a game. You'd be like, man, that was a good play. But you know that the Reaper's coming. You know that you know what's coming next. At the end of the day, I'm perfectly fine. I want Carolina to take Anthony Richardson. Shouts out to Rashad and Dave. They over there doing shows naked. I don't know if YouTube done took them off the air, because they over there like, oh man, Anthony Richardson, you're gonna take us to the next level. Like, I'm sitting here like, oh, okay. If because moving forward, we've been saying that after this past season, that 2022 season, it's going to be the Panthers and the Falcons. Those are going to be the two teams. Those are going to be the two teams that, you're going to determine who's going to take this division over. Molly Mall will tell you the Saints are done. And this is what we're thinking. Like I said at the beginning of the show, you never know. It's not over till it's over. We ain't played a game in 2023 yet. But the Saints are looking suspect. Tampa Bay, they wandering aimlessly around the ocean. Like, they don't know what they're going to do. If the Panthers draft Anthony Richardson, NFC South is ours for the next 5 years. Easy. It's ours for the next 5 years. Rashad in here, he says, 2, Gibbs would be a monster with Algier. Yes. Give me Gibbs. Give me Gibbs. Padre says 2, and throw Bijan Robinson back on the grill for now. For the sizzle ice. What in the world? Throw Bijan Robinson back on the grill. I hear you, Bo. I hear you. Let me see here. I skipped ahead. Cooler Roberts, he says, yeah, man. Yeah. He's down with the Jahmyr Gibbs talk. JBM93 says, Big Low, I seen you did not like the Drake London pick in the video. I didn't like it. But thing is, guess who was in the stadium every Sunday that the Falcons were at home, and some of the Sundays that the Falcons were away? I was there. The same way I was at the draft. I was there. I support my team, Bo. Drake London, he came whenever we took him. I supported him fully. I was there. Robert Benton says, yeah, man. He said, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm down with that move. Chuck says, keep the money for Lamar, trade up, draft the quarterback. It's gonna be a sticky situation because if I'm not mistaken, I'm hearing that some people are saying 35 million, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But some people are saying 35 million for Lamar Jackson. I mean, I ain't mad at you. In the words of Pac, I ain't mad at you. Fran Chisel says nah. He says we getting a cornerback or a quarterback. Watch. That's how the Atlanta Falcons do. Coach Jerry here's what's going on, Big Low, Miss Roney and family. What's going on with your Coach Jerry? Hope you're doing good, fam. Hope you're doing good. Shouts out to 95 North, man. Coach Dre, he says, hey man, Jahmyr Gibbs, that's the move. Jahmyr Gibbs, that's the move, bro. Oh man. D Sloan says, why would Gibbs be that move? I really feel like he could be the scat back to kind of take this offense to the next level. You know, we know that Cordell Patterson could be lightning in a bottle, but one thing that we've learned based off of the experience is that as the season winds down, Cordero kind of winds down with the season, right? So it's like, why not get a guy with the 4.3 speed who has the potential of taking it to the house, in the words of Trick Daddy, every time he touches the ball, to go along with the Tyler Algier, who's steady hitting you in the face, hitting you in the nose, and taking it, eating the elephant one bite at a time. I love it. I love it. 95 North says Jamarcus Russell vibes, bro. That's what he's giving me. Jamarcus, man, that's rough. That's rough. True Bear says he'll be a automatic bust if he goes to the Panthers. Yes. Raymond Collins says, Low, don't you feel Fontenot is going to establish a formidable roster to be Oh yes. I definitely feel like that. I feel like we're taking the steps, bro. To go ahead and be that top team in the NFC South. Like I said, for the next 5 years, easy. Tony Rice says, yeah. So Anthony Richardson ran a 4.4 in the 40-yard dash at 240 pounds at the combine. That would be his completion percentage in the NFL, 44.4. Sounds like a Jay-Z album, 444. Brian Little says, yes, I want Gibbs, the Alabama kid. Yes. Alabama, formerly Georgia Tech. Definitely. So D Sloan said, what's the difference in between Tyler Algier and Gibbs? Well, a good 30 pounds for one. I think Gibbs, he checked in at the combine at 201, but I remember in Alabama he was like 190. Like 0.3 seconds knocked off of the 40 because Gibbs runs a 4.3. I think he was the fastest running back in this combine. I don't know what Algier's 40 is, and of course, he's a fast runner, but he ain't running with Gibbs. He ain't running. Gibbs has a chance. He's a home run threat. So anytime he touches the ball, he's a home run threat. So just imagine, our creative running schemes with a Jahmyr Gibbs. That's a match made in heaven, bro. Tony Rice says, Low, you were also at Julio Jones' parties and business functions, no matter where they're at in the United States and even out of the country. Remember his birthday party in Aruba? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You the only one to be going to his parties. I ain't never met Julio. You need to stop rubbing it in my face. Oh man. Coach Waller says, I like Gibbs, but McIntosh will be good, man. Yeah, I mean, both of them. Both of those guys will definitely do it big. Coach Ron is in here, says, checking in to say, hey, y'all hit the like button. Yes. Look here. If you're excited about free agency for the Atlanta Falcons, if you're excited about the NFL draft, you can't call Terry Fontenot, Arthur Smith, and Arthur Blank to express how excited and giddy you are, and you want to express yourself. Express yourself. Make sure that you hit that like button. Also, if this is your first time checking us out, make sure that you share the channel with your friends and family. And make sure that you subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. Do those things, I'm going to dance at your wedding one day, bro. I'm going to be out there, doing it big for you. Oh, man. Let's see here. JBM says March 15th is going to let us know what we're going to do in the draft. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. March 15th, we're going to see exactly where we're at and what direction we're going to go in. But I will tell you this right here. Kind of like my homeboy Jack Spade said on this show at one time for the fan. Make sure that y'all check him out. Atlanta Falcons content creator. He said that, look, this next week, we're going to determine what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson. So the talk is 2 first-round picks. So that 8th pick that we've been talking and been all excited about for the last 2.5 months, that's going to be gone, right? So the talk is 2 first-round picks, and they're talking like $35.5 million or something like that, some figure like that for Lamar Jackson. Now, the thing is that, and I was looking at Twitter, a lot of Falcons fans, it's kind of stirred the pot. It was already a lot of talk. Because once again, I repeat, every time I look at my phone, I'm seeing the Falcons and Lamar Jackson, right? So I want to ask y'all, under those parameters, I'm not asking if you would do it. Does that make it more attainable to get Lamar Jackson 2 first-round picks, $35 million a year? Does that make it more attainable? If you feel like it does, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like you're still in the same place and you don't want them regardless, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know what y'all think, because it's one of those situations where people have been tying us to them, and I'm like, hey, we don't necessarily really want a Lamar Jackson. It's one of those cases where we're just kind of stuck. Everybody's putting Lamar Jackson on us. Tony Wright says, look, we have pictures of you and Julio Jones popping bottles, drinking Cristal. And said, oh, come on, Tony Wright. What in the world? Oh, man. Shouts out to Coach Roney, man. Coach Roney has been working so hard this weekend with her spring cleaning. Shouts out to her, man. She makes sure that the old coach got a clean place to lay his head. So shouts out to Coach Roney, man. She treat me so fine, man. So Coach Alberto, he says, hey, man, yeah, he thinks it's one of those cases where it makes it more attainable. Coach Wallace says, but I don't think we make no moves on the first day of free agency. I don't know. I think that money might burn a hole in their pocket. I think they might make some moves, Coach. Rodman, he says he's still in the same place. He said it don't make him want them anymore. Truth Bearer, RJ, ATF for life, Javi, Brian Little, they said there's a little bit more hope than it was initially. Shouts out to Nathan Floyd. He agrees with me. He says he don't feel like it's, he's still pineapples. He don't want it. He don't like it. he said he's good. Shouts out to Quad Sevens. He says, I'm not sure. We don't need a new GM and coach. The drafts haven't impressed me. And Arthur is supposed to be an old guy, and he gets Jalen, who could be out of the NFL soon. I don't know. We're gonna see. Jada Pell's out like a man who quits on this. Oh man, Jared J says build around Ritter. I mean, and that's the thing. You got a young Thundercat there. We don't know what he is. It's like a lottery ticket. It's like, do you want to keep the dollar or do you want to get the lottery tickets, the jumbo books? Like, what you want to do? Raymond Collins, he says 1. He says they can work with it. Todd Terry says he's in the same spot. Ain't nothing changed. He said he ain't trying to do it. Xavier says, "Hey man, yeah, I think that's look. I'm kind of opening up to that." Slim says the facts are this: you're not going to be playoffs without a franchise quarterback. Also, a lot of Falcons fans think they can get the championship by shopping at the Goodwill. One. Shopping at the good. I like that. Shopping at the Goodwill. Robert Bennett says too. Says, it ain't nothing changed. It is what it is. You know, ain't nothing changed. Um, Ghost Pepper says it won't surprise me if Ravens trade Lamar Jackson and recalibrate. They started the Harbaugh age in 2008, and they're still relevant. Mike Smith with the Falcons started same year. It has been gone for what? 8 years. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. And Baltimore has something that the Falcons don't have, a Super Bowl championship in that span as well. So that's true. D Sloan says, I want Ritter to have the job to lose, but if we get Lamar, I pray our scouting staff get the right people to impact our defense. And I agree with you. We still need to fill those other spots. 95 North says, we have come out of the gate swinging. We play second fiddle to everybody. It's our time. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, Berto. My standing on the wall. That's it. How you gonna win if you really don't want to dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. That's what you gotta do, Berto. You gotta get down on it. That's what you gotta do, bro. So basically, the Falcons fans are saying the ones that want Lamar Jackson or want that big splash, they just want to get their back up off the wall. That's all it is. Get your back up off the wall. Oh man. Jay Francisco, they said, nah, I'm good. It ain't nothing changed. Brian Lewis says, I love what Ritter did for us last year. And I ain't knocking it. Shouts out to MDT Sports in here. They says, as a Ravens fan, they don't sign Lamar Jackson. Y'all go after and y'all have franchise quarterback. Y'all win Super Bowls with Lamar Jackson. And look, if we do make that move, I'm hoping that you're right. Because, just like my homeboy Alberto said at 95 North, you got to make sure that you're being proactive instead of reactive, right? If you're sitting and waiting, nothing comes to you. That's one thing that I learned a lot last year. Last year, I took some gambles. With my career, right? And I learned that if you're not proactive and you're just reactive, you're just going to be in the same spot, waiting for positive things to happen to you. So it's like, me personally, I would like to wait to see what Ritter can do, but I also see that waiting might not be the best thing to do, right? I know a lot of people talk about the whole alpha male, beta male conversation. And, a lot of people don't know what the definition of them are, right? But the thing is that I think more people with like that alpha mentality are thinking, hey, let's be proactive and see what we can do, opposed to being reactive and waiting to see what happens. It is what it is. I mean, let's just be honest. Nathan Floyd says that $35 million is the tag number. He has already stated that he will not play on the tag. He wants more than Watson's guaranteed contract, around $55 million a year. Right back to cap purgatory. Man, that's a lot of money, Nathan. Brian Little, Alberto, they just laughing. What's going on, Miss B? Hope you're doing good tonight, Coach. Quad 7 says, I want Lamar Jackson because my friend, who's a Bengals fan, says Roman was bad there. Our high schools with better play call. Wow, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know if y'all seen Rashad Bateman. I think he said on Twitter, he was like, a lot of people are blaming Lamar Jackson for, the play not up to their expectations. He was basically saying, that's on the GM and the coaching staff. So it sounds like there's some dissension, in the ranks there in Baltimore. Dixon weighs in here. Much love to you, Bo. Shouts out to Coach Larry and his wife. Much love. Look, if y'all are Hawks fans, if you want to watch a game, if you want to watch a Hawks game with somebody, you just sitting at the house, turn on the Dixon way. Look, they have a good time watching these Hawks games. And based on that game that we had last night with John Collins with 3 points, we need to have a good time while watching these games. So shouts out to the Dixon way. Oh, man. Derek says, Coach Lowe, who's your favorite O-line prospect? Mine is DeJuan Jones. I like Johnson. Johnson is, I really like him. I feel like he's the complete zone run blocking offensive lineman. What's going on, Coach Tyler? Shouts out to Coach Tyler Russell and Coach Christine. Hope y'all doing good. Ball says 2. I wouldn't want Mariota for no picks. Too injury prone, and way too expensive for his level of production. And that's the thing. So it's like it's one of those questions where Todd Terry says $55 million. Has he lost his mind? And that's one of those questions where it's like $55 million. What are we paying for? $55 million. What am I paying for? I mean, to a certain extent, it's one of those cases where it's like you're asking a question. If I divide, that's how me and Coach Roney, like a lot of the expenses, we try to say, hey, is this worth it? If he gets 10 wins a game, we divide that $55 million by 10. So we're paying him $5.5 million per win. That's if he gets to 10 wins, right? That's if we're a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Marcus Mariota, he got the 5 wins last year, $2 million a win, and a lot of those wins weren't because of Marcus Mariota. Let's be honest. In some situations, it was in spite of Marcus Mariota. So it's a tough situation, man. I see my homeboy Brandon Levy here. Brandon Levy. So I want to ask you, because I respect your opinion. I want to ask you, with all of this talk of trading 2 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson and paying at least $35 million, would you do it? Because I know Brandon Levy, he's quick to put up the scissors if he doesn't agree with it. So Brandon Levy, 2 first-round picks and at least $35 million, would you do it? Somebody said that Nathan Floyd said that he's asking $55 million. Fully guaranteed. But I'm just saying, at least $35 million, would you do it? Because I'm more worried about 2 first-round picks. Slim says Arthur Blank is 80 years old, and Arthur Smith has a 14-20 record. They have another bad season. Then Smith is on his way out the door on an extremely hot seat. He's going to gamble on Ritter. I mean, look, it's like the last couple of seasons, he had excuses. Like Matt Ryan wasn't his guy. The wide receiver core was terrible. This year, Marcus Mariota was his guy, but he just couldn't. Marcus Mariota just couldn't get right as much as he wanted him to. So it's one of those cases where it's like now, and I don't know if y'all seen if y'all seen the article where Arthur Blank says, well, look, the Atlanta Falcons have gone 7-10 the last 2 seasons. He says that was Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith's plan. He said to win as many games as they could. He says, I'm satisfied with the first 2 seasons. He said, if they stick to their plan, then they will win more than 7 games. He came out and said it. He says, if they go 7-10 next year, that's not according to the plan, and we would in so many words, he said we would have to move on. Just like Slim says, Arthur Blank is 80 years old. If they go 7-10 again, basically what he's saying is that if the Atlanta Falcons don't go to the playoffs next year, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. I mean, and I completely agree with it. Brandon Levy, he says, let's go after the kid out of Pitt, Kalijah Campbell. He said, I love this kid. Hey, man, Padre, he was just naked. You know, I think he just put his clothes back on. He was just naked about Kalijah Campbell. But yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, he's gonna be a beast. He's gonna be a beast. Brandon Levy, he also gave his vote. He said, absolutely not. He put 20 pairs of scissors up here. He says he pineapples, he don't like it. Miss B says Lamar and Mariota is not the same. I'm not sure why people keep comparing them. I completely agree with you, Miss B. Lamar Jackson and Marcus Mariota are not the same players. They're definitely not the same players. One won MVP. Let's be completely honest. One MVP. The other one throws passes from his side on the ground. They're two completely different players. Two completely different players. So one has been a consistent starting quarterback in the NFL. The other one sit out for 2 years, and this homeboy gave him a job. He didn't appreciate it and quit on the team. I mean, let's just be completely honest. Let's call a buck 4 quarters, Bo. It is what it is. Let's call a buck 100 pennies. It is what it is. Ain't no need in faking the funk. I mean, so yeah, I mean, for the people who say Lamar Jackson is basically Marcus Mariota, I don't know. I don't know what game they're watching. They need to learn how to rewatch football because those guys are two completely different talents. First of all, I'm not saying that Marcus Mariota's trash. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying that. But he ain't no Lamar Jackson. He ain't no Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is something completely different, bro. Something completely different. Tony Wright says, if the Atlanta Falcons, who just came out of salary cap hit, trade for Lamar Jackson and put us back in salary cap hit and gives up the team's future, Mr. Fontenot needs to resign. If I know Terry like I do, I'm hoping he's crossing all his I's or crossing all his T's and dotting all his I's because they was in a bad situation before. They're gonna be if it's one of those situations where they mortgage the farm on a Lamar Jackson without making sure that they got a kitty set up to, a discretionary fund just for him, then yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Brandon says, look, it makes sense to gamble on Ritter, build up your team, get a pass rush, cover better, and solidify that O-line. We can win. Look, like I said, I don't think you were wrong there, Brandon, but the Atlanta Falcons are in prime position to dominate the NFC South for the next 4 or 5 years. Easily. The Carolina Panthers are talking about getting Anthony Richardson, who had a completion percentage of like 53% this past year. They just want him because he's 6'4", 240. Cam Newton 2.0. Like, if y'all want to go after something, if y'all want to go after a thing in the past, you can try to bring that old thing back if you want to. Question is, how did that Cam Newton thing work out for you the first time? How did it work out for you? 1 MVP, 1 Super Bowl appearance. What else? What else did Cam do for you? I just see a whole bunch of hitting them folks and dabbing. That's all I seen. That's all I seen. Oh, man. Wait a minute. Coach Pye just said, I popped a few more buttons, Coach. Coach Brandon Levy, he came in here spitting. Y'all crazy, man. All right, Lady T. Good night, fam. Jay says they both quit. So maybe they're close to the same. Look, we don't know who quit. In the day, we don't know if Lamar Jackson quit. We don't know if Marcus Mariota quit. We wasn't in the room holding the flashlight whenever whatever happened. We can't say that. JBM said that they had the same stats. Okay, they had the same stats. So we're saying that because they had the same stats, that one player is better than the other. That's what we're saying. We could also say Mecole Hardman had 2 touchdowns this past season. Kyle Pitts had 2 touchdowns this past season. Mecole Hardman just as good as Kyle Pitts. Is that what we're saying? We can't go off the stats because I tell you this every day. Football is just like life. The circumstances that you are in help determine the results of your situation, right? So I'm sitting here telling you, Lamar Jackson and Marcus Mariota are not the same. They're not the same. We're saying, so if Dalton Schultz has more touchdowns than Kyle Pitts, Dalton Schultz is a better tight end. That's what we're saying. No. Lamar Jackson, Marcus Mariota, they had the same stats last year. Okay. So let me ask you this. So if you had a choice and both of them were $10 million and you could choose whichever one you wanted, you might as well take Marcus Mariota again. He already know the system, right? Just go on Marcus Mariota. No, you ain't finna do that. Because you know that Lamar Jackson is a superior quarterback to Marcus Mariota. That just, look, Bo, that just cut and dry, simple and plain. Much love to you, Chuck. We ain't got nothing but love for you, Bo. Derek says, Big Low, imagine Tyler Algier running behind a corn-fed, country strong, 306-8 offensive tackle and down with Jones. I'm just saying. Look, it don't matter who it is. Tyler Algier finna get his. it don't matter who it is. True Bear says, y'all literally lying. Lamar Jackson led the whole league in passing touchdowns. Marcus Mariota could never. He could never. Oh, man. True Bear says, Marcus Mariota had Derrick freaking Henry and a defense that couldn't win double-digit games. Lamar's floor is 10 wins a season. And shout out to my homeboy Bodie one time for the fan, or maybe it was Coach Birdo. He said, look, when Lamar Jackson walks in the door, he give you 10 wins. I said, oh, what? Now, hold on now. He walk in the door, he bringing 10 wins with him. Look, there's still 11 other people on the field. And then when you ain't on the field, I'm sorry, there's still 10 other people on the field with you. Then when you ain't on the field, there's 11 guys out there. So, we can't say that now. We can't say that. Coach Padre says, Coach, the Draft Network got us traded for Lamar Jackson and giving up first and second picks this year and next year. Just feels like a lot. Because it is a lot, Bo. That's way too much to be giving up for Lamar Jackson. And like I said, Lamar Jackson a good player, but I ain't trying to give up the farm just to stay in the apartments, Bo. I can't do that. I ain't giving up the farm. I'd rather just stay on the farm where I could grow my own food. Because what is it, Coach Ronan? What? Man's greatest heritage is cultivating the earth, right? While people ride around and they what?
Tractors.
They tractors. That's it. Because everybody got them, right? Oh, man. Oh, man. Y'all look crazy. Miss B says it could take 2 to 3 years for a quarterback to develop. Make it make sense. And you're right. It definitely could. Or, it could take a year. So, it's one of those cases. Once again, it's all about the circumstances. Think about it. Patrick Mahomes, he sit most of that first year. We seen who Patrick Mahomes was in the preseason game his rookie year whenever the Falcons played him. Patrick Mahomes threw that deep shot to the even side, and the ball just kept sailing, hit Tyreek Hill in the back of the end zone, like 70-yard bomb. I was like, oh, but it's gonna be a problem. Next thing you know, a couple games left in the season, Chiefs went ahead and started Patrick Mahomes, came up, lit the world on fire. You set me on fire. You just set the world on fire. What happened next season? Patrick Mahomes, because of his situation, right? Patrick Mahomes came out. I feel sorry for everybody. Did it big. Now here we are, 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls later. He been killed in the league for the last 4 years. Now, if it would have been another quarterback in a different scheme or situation, or with inept play calling, or not enough talent around him, it could legit took 2 to 3 years. You know, so that's why I say it depends on the situation that you're in, right? I mean, because look at Daniel Jones. Some people are like, man, Daniel Jones might be taking that next step right now. That's why the New York Giants are like, well, wait, do we want to pay Daniel Jones $35-40 million a year? I mean, because the last 3 seasons he just been okay. Do we want to pay this guy this? I mean, yeah, he took us to the playoffs. It's ironic he took us to the playoffs his prove it year, but he took us to the playoffs. But once again, Dabo came in, really turned that whole offense and that team in a different direction. Now it's like, okay, he's starting to progress. When it comes to any player, not just quarterback, whenever you pay free agents, you're paying them for potential. You're not paying them for what they did in the past unless they're already on your team, i.e. Kobe Bryant deal. But whenever you pay a free agent, you're paying him for the potential, for what he can do for your team in the future. So if it's a situation where you have a Daniel Jones, somebody signs him for $40 million, that's because they think he's going to be capable of doing a whole lot more than he did in the past. They're not looking at what yeah, exactly. That he's capable of doing a whole lot more than what he did in the past. They're not saying, oh, yeah, he had 18 touchdowns 2 years ago. Man, we could really use that on our team. They're hoping that he can get 36. That's what they're hoping. You know, so it's just one of those things. ATLGA Faithful said, Coach Lowe, I heard you like Tyree Wilson. Does his foot surgery concern you? Yes, it does. But if he could get right, man, Ryan Nielsen, Tyree Wilson, that's a match made in heaven, Bo. Match made in heaven. Coach Wilder says, once again, these are just rumors about Lamar. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. It's not like we were there holding a flashlight when these conversations happen. And Brandon Lee, and you're right, Mahomes got a whole Andy Reid with him. That means a lot. That means a lot. Andy Reid, you got Andy Reid, you're going to do some special things. I mean, it is what it is. Man, who's the backup for the Chiefs? Dang, I forgot who the backup is. The guy that played in Jacksonville. I can't remember, but look, he came in during that playoff game last year against the Browns. He came in, he ain't miss a beat because it's the coaching. The coaching put him in a good situation. That's what people are saying about Greg Roman and Lamar Jackson. They're saying that the coaching weren't putting him in a good situation. People said, like, hey, I'm going to tell you, there are high school teams that got better coaching. Prove it. What's going on, fam? Hope you're doing good tonight, my family. They're saying there are high school teams that's had better coaching. Tony Wright says, I just don't understand some Falcons fans' way of thinking. A lot of you guys won't rest until you get the second coming of Michael Vick. And look, I mean, that's my whole thing is whatever gets you going, whatever tickles your fancy, whatever tickles your fancy, and that's what you want. That's what you want. You know, me myself, I just want to win. I don't care who it is. I just want to win. That's why I love Matt Ryan so much, because every time Matt Ryan strapped up, you know, except for the last couple years, every time Matt Ryan strapped up, you knew you had a chance to win. You knew it. You're like, okay, we're gonna be good to go. We're gonna be good to go. We got Deuce. We got Deuce in the backfield. Brandon Levy says, he says, I guess y'all didn't see Ritter make big time throws on third down and make Drake London and McCole Pruitt better. I'm just saying, and exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's like Desmond Ritter, I feel like he can legit be that guy. And it's like I said, do you want to keep the dollar or do you want to play the jumbo book? It's just like you said earlier, Brandon Levy. It's like you got the, do you gamble? Do you take the gamble or do you just stick with what you got? Coach Ronnie, can you put the dog up? She's doing something over here. I don't know what it is. Can't see her. But the thing is that do you take the gamble? My whole thing is, we don't know what we got in Desmond Ritter. So why not just go ahead and ride it out with him? And if he's not the guy, then you can move on. But 4 games, that's not enough. That's not enough. We didn't play those 4 games to just try out the backup. At least I hope we did. Oh man, Ghost Pepper says, Coach Lowe, right. Falcons, bro, will be driving a Lamborghini with a transmission slipping, parking in an alleyway next to a cardboard box to live in equals signing Lamar Jackson. Oh man. Eric Mack says, well, look, free agency might give us an idea of what we're trying to do. It definitely will. It definitely will. It's one of those situations. Exactly. Thank you so much, Brandon Levy. Matthew Stafford is not an elite quarterback, but he won a Super Bowl. Cut and dry, simple and plain. He's not an elite quarterback. And you know what? And it showed this past season. He's not that guy. But he got him a Super Bowl. Why? Because of the situation he was put in. It was because of the situation he was put in. Oh, yeah, I love that Ritter and London connection. Then you add Kyle Pitts to it. Man, but we ain't high cotton in. Miss B said, stop with the Michael Vick stuff. Just because folks like certain quarterbacks, folks want to say Michael Vick, or folks want a black quarterback. Folks want a great quarterback on a winning team, despite the color. Very offensive. Yeah, I mean, I think Atlanta Falcons fans just want to win. Brandon says, Eli Manning wasn't elite. Remember that pass rush, Bo? Yes. They introduced the whole NASCAR package to the NFL. Thank you so much, Coach Wallace. Chad Henne was the backup on the Chiefs. Yes, they had a good offensive line. Yes, you are right. Chad Henne, whenever they beat the Browns, Andy Reid coached them up. Boy ain't touched the ball all season. But he came into the playoffs, won the game. Exactly. J Maul, you say late to you ain't late, Bo. You right on time. You are right on time. Ray 50 said, remember, Ritter promised us a Super Bowl in his interview when he got Jack. He sure did. Jay says, preaching what I want to hear. What's going on, Falcons? What's going on, Jay? Much love to you, Bo. Hope you're doing good, fam. And I agree with you, Coach Richard. Archie Smith, he doesn't have 2 to 3 years. And that's the thing. He got to figure it out. That's what that's his saying, right? His saying is that's why he said that's why, that's what I get paid to do. Well, right now he's getting paid to figure this thing out. So him and Terry, whatever they decide to do, just like and I go back to it. Arthur Blank said in his interview, he said, look, the plan was to turn over the roster, and they've stuck to the plan. But he said, look, if we go 7-10 next year, that's not conducive to the plan. We have to go in another direction. I mean, how cut and dry, simple and plain? How much more cut and dry could it be? Y'all done been on action plans at work. Y'all know what that means. We're gonna have to take corrective action. We're gonna have to go in a different direction. Y'all know what that means. If they go 7-10, so basically what I'm saying, Coach Bridget, it don't matter who the quarterback is. It could be Desmond Ritter, Lamar Jackson, Chad Henne, Derek Carr, Uncle Rico, Big Low Country for all I care. If they go 7-10, they ain't going 7-10 with Big Low Country. But if they go 7-10, it is what it is. They got, it's over. I mean, cut and dry, simple and plain. It's over. Coach Keith says, "Hey, Coach, scouting combine for my Steelers. I hope Porter falls to us, and we get Brees from Clemson." Man, I definitely feel like Porter would be a great fit for y'all, and I know Joey Porter Sr. is wanting his son to go down there to Pittsburgh. True Bear says, you can, but Nick Foles all you want, and ignore the trend in the NFL all you want. I mean, look, I understand. You gotta go, Coach Ronnie. Come get your dog. Says he trying to go in there. Ghost Pepper says, Coach Lowe, if we can build a competitive team that can complement each other, doing with proper coaching, it makes the quarterback's job that much easier, making the position less demanding, and it definitely does. It definitely does. I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. Brandon Levy says Brady went to 3 Super Bowls before he cashed a big check. Yes. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl before he cashed a big check. I mean, so we've seen it. Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl before he cashed that big check. I mean, we've seen it over and over again. Budbone says, if your team was looking for a quarterback, who would be your number one quarterback coming out this year, Coach Lowe? CJ Stroud. If I had to get a quarterback, give me CJ Stroud. I seen what he did against that Georgia defense. I seen what he's capable of doing. I talked to Terry Fontenot the next day. That game against Ohio State was on Saturday. I was at the Arizona game on Sunday, and I talked to Terry Fontenot. First thing he said to me was, "Did you see that game last night?" I was like, "Yes, I seen it." He was like, "That CJ Stroud kid is legit." That's what he said to me. Now, I'm hoping that he wasn't trying to give me a message, being like, "Hey, this might be what I'm trying to do." But the first thing he said to me was, Did you see that game last night?" He said this CJ Stroud kid is legit. So if I'm getting anybody, I'm getting CJ Stroud. That's what I'm getting, but do I think they're bringing back Lorenzo and Rashad? I don't know if they're gonna bring back Lorenzo, but I think they're gonna bring back Rashad Evans. I think they'll definitely bring back Rashad. Coach Watt says, Coach Lowe, I think Arthur Blank is going to give Arthur Smith at least 2 more years before he gets rid of him. Why waste a half a decade? A third of a decade is long enough. Ain't no need in going half a decade, you know what I'm saying, dealing with somebody. I mean, just look at how so many players unceremoniously left. You might as well just go ahead and cut your bait. If he goes 7-10 again, he's completely turned over the roster. He put his plan in motion. You go 7-10 again, yeah, you might as well move on, Coach. So we're just going to say 7-10 is it's the way to go. I told Coach Ron to put the dog in the cage. I can't get to her. She's over here rummaging, trying to find something to get into. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to go 7-10 again.
She's laying on the carpet.
No, she ain't. You're trying to get in something over here.
You're over here disparaging her name on your show.
Shaka.
Talk about my dog on your show.
Shaka's being bad.
She was laying on the carpet.
No, she wasn't.
Like an angel.
Okay, all right. You wasn't even in here.
I walked in and saw her. Like an angel.
Okay. Angel. I hear you. Oh man. Man. So why tag McGarry? I think I would. I think I'll tag McGarry. I mean, it was successful what he was doing last year. We had a top 5 rushing offense. And the thing is that the quarterback play wasn't that efficient. So why change it, right? I mean, if it's a situation where McGarry is going to refuse to take that franchise tag, or he's just demanding so much more, just go ahead and let him go, right? But it's just one of those things. Ball says if we go 7-10 with Ritter, Arthur Smith's seat will get warm. If we go 7-10 with Lamar, both Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot will be out the door. Oof, man. Coach Wilder says, Coach Lowe, Sean Payton went 7-9 3 years in a row before the Saints started winning consistently. I mean, I understand, but I don't think Arthur Blank has the patience for it. Just like somebody said earlier, Arthur Blank is 80 years old. Whenever he's making the decision, do you think Arthur Blank is going to be like, well, the Saints with 7-9 with Sean Payton? It's like, I just don't see it happening. Todd Terry says Arthur Smith, daddy, will buy the team FedEx. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh man. Dixon Way shouts out to Larry. He says Taylor Wine might be able to possibly replace McGarry. We know that he probably want to reconnect with Arthur Smith, bring that old thing back. In the words of Jaheim, trying to find my way back. He might be trying to find his way back to that good thing, Bo. We don't know. ATLGA Faithful said 15 to 18 million. No, that's the that's that franchise tag number. So I mean, yes, it's not that big of a hit, but it's still a substantial chunk of change, right? Jay says, for me, I don't judge art by the past 2 seasons. It really what happens from here on, and I respect that. I definitely respect that. Keith says, Arthur Blank wants a Lamborghini before he takes it. Oh man, to you, baby. That's it. Trying to find my way back. Oh man. RJ said, do you see the Falcons sign any players on extensions this offseason? Oh, yes, definitely. Isaiah Oliver, I can see that being an extension. Shad Evans, I can see that being an extension. I definitely see. But it's going to be exciting. Shouts out to One Time for the Fan. Y'all make sure y'all check my boy Jack Spade Bodie out. Just like Jack Spade said, this week coming up is going to really determine what happens moving forward. If they go in a different direction than we were originally planning. So, One Time for the Fan says, who's singing now? Country, you playing quarterback and you going to American Idol too? Nah, I'm going to The Voice, Bo. I'm going to The Voice. Trying to find my way back. That's all I'm doing, Bo. Singing quarterback, Big Low Country. Oh man, Brandon Levy, he said, look, we shouldn't have been 7-10 this year. We could have beat the Aints in New Orleans and in Atlanta. We could have beat the Ravens and the Chargers. Yes, you're definitely right. We could have beat the Washington Commanders. Like, there's a lot of games we could have won. But think about it. There are a lot of games we could have lost too. I mean, if we're completely honest, we definitely could have lost that Carolina Panthers game. We could have lost that that Cleveland Browns game. Like there's some games that we definitely could have lost. So yeah, I mean, it's the it's the truth. Hello, that's it, Bo. What time for the fans says country karaoke at the Tennessee away? Look, you just let me know, Bo. Think I ain't gonna be in there trying to find my way back to you, baby. Shouts out to my homeboy one time for the fan, the Rise Up tour. If you're an Atlanta Falcons fan that goes to away games, make sure that you go to Facebook, check out the Rise Up tour. It's a group of us. We travel, hotels, events at the away city. It's lit, man. It's the best. It's the best away group in the whole Falcons fan base. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. Shouts out Thomas, Jack Spade, Janae, all of them, man. Rise Up tour. Make sure that y'all check it out. Miss B says, but we didn't, hence we are 7-10. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Hello, if we're a fifth, yeah, I know the rest. If we're a fifth, we'd all be drunk, right? If the pass didn't get tipped at at the goal line for the Washington Commanders game. If Drake London wouldn't have fumbled, if Marcus Mariota wouldn't have went out of bounds in that New Orleans Saints game, or if he wouldn't have threw the interception in New Orleans Saints game, if Arthur Smith would have took Marcus Mariota out sooner, and I think that's the thing. I think we just need the better decision making, up top, and then we could go ahead and take that new step. One thing that we have to acknowledge, Arthur Smith, he's on the learning curve too. Anybody who starts a new job, you're on that learning curve, right? You're learning exactly how to do it as efficiently as possible. Think about it. Any job that you get, they say you don't master a job unless it's not that technical. Like if you're tasting pies at a pie factory, it's not going to take you as long. But they say any technical job, they did research on this. First of all, they said on average, the average amount that it takes to properly train an employee is almost their base salary, right? Second of all, the average employee masters their job in one fiscal year. They average they master their job in a fiscal year. So if you think about that, Arthur Smith, he's on the learning curve. I mean, wouldn't we say his coaching was a little bit better this season? So that being said, who knows? Maybe he would actually master it next season. That's the thing. That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. We got Uncle Steve in here. Uncle Steve, he's a singer. But see, he don't know, I'm rocking with that Drew Hill. Yeah. Tell me what you gonna be. Ooh, he sees how would a light me on a Uncle Steve said Big Low and now singing R&B classics 1 hour straight live if we get Lamar Jackson. I bet you wonder where I've been. Oh man, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Dixon Way says, fair enough. But like Big Low said, Arthur Blank is 82 years old. He ain't trying to wait for long for a King rebuild, and Terry and Arthur Smith have to win now. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, we ain't trying to wait. Coach Tyler Russell says, I hate to break it to you, Arthur Smith isn't going anywhere this year or next, assuming no major collapses, like a 0-11 start this year. And and the thing is see, the thing about Coach Tyler Russell, he's normally my voice of reason, right? I talk to Coach Tyler Russell, I'd be like, man, I just don't understand this. They need to do this, this, and this. He's like, hold on, coach. Hold on. Pump your brakes, coach. Think about it like this right here. And he's making sense. I mean, they probably won't do nothing because he hasn't had his roster in there. until this season. He had to just put up with Marcus Mariota. He had to put up with the Matt Ryan. So it's like, how you gonna ask me to cook the meal if I can't bring my own groceries, right? I mean, that's the famous Bill Parcells saying. John Brooks says, Big Low, if the Ravens are going to place a non-exclusive tag on Lamar Jackson, if I'm the Falcons, you got to be on the phone because this is the best chance for a veteran quarterback. Yeah, but once again, it's like you're taking a Lamar Jackson who is possibly at his peak already, for a wild card in the Desmond Ritter. We don't know what Desmond Ritter is, right? So, what if Desmond Ritter is Lamar one, times 1.8? He's, that much better than Lamar Jackson. That's whenever we have to I mean, we don't want it to be a Brett Favre situation, right? We traded Brett Packers and made history and rewrote the history books. We don't want that, right? But I also understand what a lot of Falcons. All I'm saying is that I understand where both parties are coming from, right? So, either way, whichever route we decide to take, I'm gonna be, singing R&B classics with Uncle Steve on live because number one, I'm a Falcons fan and I love the Atlanta Falcons and love being a Falcons fan. And number two, I'm loyal. Chris Brown wasn't singing about me. Derek said Big Low with the vocals. You already know. One time for the fans says, Miss B, what's up? Falcons fans don't want to wait for the year after. They want now, which is why they heavy on Lamar. I mean, yeah, why wait? Why wait? One time for the fan also says, now true, if Ritter has a bad season, you're not stuck with him. You just have to shift focus next offseason to a quarterback. He only making less than $6 million. That's over the course of his contract, right? That's over the course of his contract. Coach Roney, she got the scissors in here. I already know. Coach Roney's talking about cutting Arthur Smith. Jay Paul said, who you cutting, Coach Roney? He talking about Arthur Smith. Oh, man. Jay Moss says, I just want to keep Desmond, And I understand that. But once again, it's like every time I look at my phone, every time, bro, I see Lamar Jackson, And like I said, until it's all over, then we'll see where we're at. We'll see where we're at. But look, I do need y'all to make sure that y'all do a country boy a favor. Make sure that you hit that like button. Also, this is your first time watching. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I promise you, you hit those buttons for me, I'll dance at your wedding one day. But look, I know that y'all got to go to work tomorrow. I ain't gonna keep y'all up too late. I normally don't go to bed till about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because my commute is only like 3 minutes because I walk from my bedroom to my desk, because I work from home. So I ain't got that much of a commute tomorrow, but I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and go to sleep. So y'all ain't gotta, so y'all definitely be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for work tomorrow. But look, this week coming up and going into free agency, we'll definitely be chopping it up. I need y'all to stay safe. Please don't do anything that I would do, and make sure that you hit that like button before you leave. And if this is your first time watching, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos in the future. Look, I'm still on the journey to become the next Atlanta Falcons quarterback. Do want to let y'all know. We're doing some non-conventional healing for the hamstring. It's definitely coming along. I'll make sure that I document the journey, as much as I can, just to keep everybody in the loop. Because I know that, we're talking about Lamar Jackson, we're talking about Desmond Ritter, but the media is disrespecting me because they're not talking about Big Low Country. Oh man, keep it real. Who that sports in here? Says appreciate that. Hey man, we definitely appreciate you for watching us, man. We appreciate you for watching us. ATLGA Faithful. Make sure that you check out my brother channel. ATLS Hunt. D. Douglas Carter. Much love to you, Bo. Y'all go subscribe to him now as soon as you get off the show. Subscribe to One Time for the Fan. Make sure that you subscribe to all these positive Atlanta Falcons content creators. Y'all take it easy. Y'all stay safe. What in the world, Bo?